Hogan, where are you from? Where did you grow up?
Born and raised in Versailles, Kentucky, right outside of Lexington, and I've been here in Nashville for 17 years and been with Dave's team for 10.
Did you move to Nashville to pursue a career in music by chance?
No, actually, I was banking at the time. So I'm one of the few people here in Nashville that cannot sing. I mean, the only thing I can play is the radio.
Nice. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. You said you were having dinner with your family last night. I've been going through kind of in preparation for your class, the Total Money Makeover you're going to be doing here in Homer, Alaska, which we cannot wait for. Thinking about money and your early relationship with money, and that's just so important. You know, T. Harv Eker said that people that say money's not important probably don't have any, and I think that's a fascinating quote. But I wonder, what was you said you were in banking. Chris, what's your early relationship with money like? Did your relationship, was it established with your parents at home, or where did you really get your foundation for your grasp of money?
Well, it did start at home. I mean, my mom was very clear on the importance of chores and earning commission very early on. And so it got passed down. I would say the deeper knowledge and understanding came from my grandparents. They were, very focused. They had 7 kids, as well as grandkids running around. But to see them, I can remember them sitting at the kitchen table talking about money, talking about holidays, talking about things that were going to go on. And so early on, I got a chance to see how important it is to be communicating and working together.
You mentioned you were in banking, and then you've been with Dave Ramsey now for his team for 10 years. Do you mind sharing, if you've had any, do you mind sharing a time in your life where maybe you didn't have as firm a grasp on money as you do now, or when you joined the Dave Ramsey organization? Have you been through trials of your own relative to finance?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, early on, I had this baseline knowledge of money, but then you go off to college and lo and behold, the credit card companies are lurking. They make it easy for you to sign up and, get yourself into a lot of financial danger. And I did that. And it was literally kind of an eye-opening experience. It was so fun spending the money, and it was very, very stressful trying to figure out how I was going to pay for this while I'm in college and playing football. And so for me, that was an eye-opener. It was an awareness that, hey, these things, these credit cards, they're not your friend. They're not at all. And it's one of those things where you do end up paying that penalty, trying to get that off of you. And it ends up adding stress in areas. Debt does. It adds stress in areas that really we don't think about until we have that kind of pain.
As you travel the country, Chris Hogan, and you talk with people from really around the world, and you do travel the country, what do you find most often? People that have revenue problems, in other words, they don't make enough money, or they don't manage what they do make? Which is the bigger crisis you run into?
I think the biggest crisis that I see as I travel all around the country is just the lack of awareness, the management side. We've heard it said that, being successful with money, it's 20% head knowledge, it's 80% behavior. And so it's the behavior side where the biggest opportunity lies for people to kind of plug in. I can remember one of the first clients that I coached was a gentleman, and he was making, about $40,000 a year. And in his mind, he needed to make a whole lot more money to be able to make progress. Well, as we sat down and began to look at his budget and began to talk about his spending habits, he realized it wasn't that he needed to make more money. It was that he needed to manage what he had better. And so as I tell people, when you start to budget, when you start to get a grasp of your financial situation, you literally give yourself a raise because you find more of your money and you learn how to keep more of it.
I like that. Give yourself a raise. That's awesome. That's good stuff. I'm talking to Chris Hogan. The Total Money Makeover Seminar is going to be coming up here on April 18th. And we'll talk more about how you can register and be part of that program. Chris, you said you've been with the Dave Ramsey team for 10 years. Do you mind sharing how did you get acquainted with the organization, and what was your first experience with Dave Ramsey?
Well, I actually got connected here. Living in Nashville, you hear Dave's name and, reading his books and things of that nature. So I was aware of him even as a banker. But it was actually through a charity event that I had an opportunity to meet Dave and really start to get to know him on a more personal level. And so it was a matter of hearing his heart and his passion for truly wanting to help people. And it was a big, big difference from what I was doing as a banker, because as a banker, I was literally trying to help the bank. And there's nothing wrong with banks. They serve a purpose. But to hear the passion this man had and his commitment to helping other people, it was an incredible thing to join and to be a part of his mission.
All right, let's talk about the seminar, Total Money Makeover. It's coming up. You are teaching this program around the country. Also, I should mention that you did, as far as hosting your own program or being the host of the Entre Leadership podcast, one of the most inspirational podcasts and interviews that I've ever listened to was you interviewing Ken Blanchard, who's a personal hero of mine, and that's where I first got to know you, and instantly I was sold on you, Chris Hogan. I thought that was one of the best interviews. I'd encourage everybody to listen to it. Just fantastic. But as you present this course, this Total Money Makeover, first of all, who do you think should take it, or who would benefit the most from taking this seminar?
I think every person would benefit from the Total Money Makeover. And what I mean by that, I don't care if you're 18 or 80. To come out and to kind of hear and learn, how can I do better? And so whether you're preparing for retirement, whether you're newlyweds and you're trying to figure out this money thing working together, because we know that money fights are the number one cause of divorce, money fights. And so if we can help couples work together better and work a plan that actually works, they're going to make progress not only for themselves, but for their kids and their grandkids. And I'm going to tell you, there's nothing more important than family out there. And so I want people to come out, hang out. We're going to have fun. You're going to laugh. I've been to those dry financial seminars, and I'm telling you, that's where you see the clock go backwards, and you're praying for it to hurry up and get over, right? This is not going to be that, because I've sat through those, and that's not fun. I want to make it engaging. I want to make it fun, but I want people to hear things that they can immediately start to apply. There's nothing more that they need to buy. There's nothing more that they're going to need to do, but to come and hear the information, hear the stories, and take the knowledge and start to apply it immediately in their lives. They're going to see the benefit.
What's the feedback you hear? Because surely people that have taken this seminar and worked with you personally have come back with some feedback and said, "Oh man, Chris, this happened to me as a result of it." Anything come to the top of your mind?
I think one of the best top 2 compliments I've ever received from a Total Money Makeover event was someone said, "Wow, you made learning fun." Another one was surprised that they laughed so much. And it's literally me sharing my experiences of my mistakes, talking about, people that I've worked with. But it's amazing when the light bulb goes off and people go from feeling despair and feeling like they can't do it to all of a sudden the light bulb goes off and they realize, yes, I can do it. This is something that I can do. And I love that feeling. I love that look in people's eyes when I see them at the event, because I know they leave out of there different. They may have come in having a money fight on the way to the event, but they leave out understanding that if they're married, their spouse is their number one ally. And if they're single, they understand the importance of finding that accountability partner in their lives, that somebody that truly wants them to win. And when people believe they can, that's when they're ready to take steps forward. And any step forward is called progress.
There is nothing more liberating than feeling in control of your life. And it's really tough to feel that you are in control of your life when you're not in control of your finances. And so many of us live with this limit or these comfort zones with which, well, I can't earn more than that. I tell the story on my radio program about how at one time I sold our home because we bought another home. I sold what would have been our second home because I literally didn't believe that I could own 2 homes. It never stopped to dawn on me that, oh, wait a minute, I own 2 right now. I just never dawned on me. And once I broke through that, everything changed. And so I'm anxious, Chris. I'm going to be in the audience with my wife and my son-in-law. I'm really looking forward to seeing you and meeting you and experiencing the Total Money Makeover April 18th with Chris Hogan. Chris, you've been an awesome guest. Cannot wait to meet you in Alaska. This is your first trip to Alaska, we should add, right?
This is my very first trip to Alaska. I'm excited about it. I'm actually bringing my wife with me. We found a babysitter willing to watch our boys, right, while we take this trip. But we're excited about making this first trip. I'm more excited about meeting the good people in Homer and spending time with them, but making sure that I bring something of value to them. And that's the most important thing, that I'm bringing this knowledge of this Total Money Makeover because I want people to believe that they can, and I want to show people exactly how.
You are going to love not just the scenery and the vastness and the awesomeness that is Alaska, but you're going to love the people, I guarantee it. Thank you, Chris Hogan.
Thank you, sir, and I look forward to seeing you soon.